Hello again. If you've just joined us, I'm Sharon Tang. You're watching 2010 Newsmakers. We've got His Excellency, the US Ambassador to Malaysia, Paul W. Jones. Now, WikiLeaks on Sunday, it released a trove of secret US documents which exposed previously classified diplomatic dispatches as well as candid assessments of world leaders. Now, what sort of immediate ramifications do you see or have already experienced from these leaks?
So Sharon, first let me just say that diplomacy, like a lot of other professions, needs the ability to communicate private, candid conversations without them being exposed to the public. This is the same as in law, business, medicine, private information about our own identifying information that can be misused. So what the ramifications are that it inhibits conversation and inhibits the kind of candid exchange of views that can help build the mutual understanding that diplomacy is all about, which is all about preserving peace. So when we expose all that, when we embarrass individuals who may have said something that they didn't mean to say, it's taken out of context, maybe it wasn't reported quite accurately, for whatever reason, it inhibits that conversation. And that's a problem for diplomacy. It's a problem for American diplomacy, particularly right now, but I think as we see, it's a problem for diplomacy worldwide. So I think it's actually a very negative development. I think countries and leaders have been very understanding about it. Secretary Clinton has talked to a number of leaders about it. I have spoken to people here about it to help them understand, to say let's talk if there are issues or concerns. You know, Secretary Clinton said that when she called a few leaders, they said, "Oh, don't worry, you should see what we say about you in private." so it's all, you know, there is a certain level of understanding about what's happening, damaging as it is.
So do you see these revelations perhaps make it a bit harder for you to carry out your duties here?
You know, I haven't seen that yet. I hope we don't get to that point. I hope no one seeks to take political advantage of alleged leaked cables, classified cables. We got to understand the vast majority of these cables are working level documents. They're tactical reports of conversations that are going to working level people in Washington. This isn't high policy. This isn't about American policy toward individuals. It's conversations, and that's the stuff of diplomacy as it is in many other professions. I hope it isn't damaging, but I think we'll get through any embarrassment that may come of it. And again, you know, my hope also is that no one blames anyone for speaking. No one you know, we've got to get beyond the tactical considerations.
Okay. Now, one of the concerns now, according to WikiLeaks, the U.S. is actually much more involved in armed conflict in the Muslim world than the government has actually publicly acknowledged. So some experts have said this provides a sort of fodder for Islamic militants because they accuse the United States of aggression against Muslims, basically. Do you think that's true?
Not only do I don't think that's true, if you look at the vast majority of commentators, the opposite is true. What the commentators are looking at when they look at these cables is that there really is no dramatic news in them. It is what you see are tactical conversations that show, in fact, as I was reading in an article that just came out today, that the conspiracies that people suspect are happening are not happening, and you know, they're certainly not being reported in the classified cables. Many experts have said, you know, there really is nothing that we didn't already know in these documents. What has been revealed is who said what to whom. That's damaging. But I think actually there's been a sense that American policy, as articulated publicly and as reported privately, is the same and is transparent to people. What we don't like is to have the actual conversations revealed, because that inhibits the development of policy and mutual understanding.
Okay. So what is the government going to do to better safeguard its information?
Yeah, there's a review going on right now. Some steps have already been taken because in this internet age, it is far too easy to share information. And one of my concerns is that this may give people the idea to do similar disclosures in law, medicine, business, areas where all of us expect confidentiality, where it's maybe even easier to share information. So I think we all have a great concern about how information that we want to be protected can be protected in this internet age, and so technical steps are being taken. A review is going on, and we'll tighten up. But I think it's a bigger issue than just America's diplomacy.
It's true. I will take another quick break. After this, we'll talk about U.S.-Malaysia ties, particularly in 2011.
Okay.
Stay tuned.